guys, welcome to these YouTube sessions of the English classes for the continuation of the course. Remember that these videos will be uploaded to YouTube, which you should be watching here right now. I'll be sending you the links via WhatsApp and maybe in Microsoft Teams as well. Remember, you should watch these videos beforehand connecting in the live sessions in the regular schedule. Remember, on Mondays we'll be live in Microsoft Teams, but before you need to watch, before you connect online in Microsoft Teams, you should watch these videos in YouTube, okay? In these videos we'll be reviewing topics, grammar topics. I have my laptop connected to the projector and I have the same software, so I would like to make this the closest possible as it was in the class, right? The first video, the first topic is in lesson 1B, which in your book is pages 10 and 11. Remember, at home you should watch your cell phone, you should have your cell phone, your laptop, and your book and notebook taking notes as if we were live in the classes in school. This lesson, I hope you remember, it's Amazing Escape. We talked about Aaron Ralston, his story. There's this movie, 127 Hours, which I recommended to you. You should watch it in Netflix or online, whatever, now that you have more time due to this pandemic period that we are living through. So, the most important part of this lesson is the grammar topic, which is past perfect and past perfect progressive. Most of you were in class when I explained this topic. However, this is the first video for the exam. Remember, I still don't know about the coordination. They haven't told us about the exams. During the week, I hope they do it, and I will let you know. Okay. You should remember, I hope you do, that the past perfect and past perfect progressive, you have the structures in your notebook. They are built using the same auxiliaries. Remember, had and hadn't, negative. The only difference is that in past perfect we use the past participle, and in past perfect progressive we use been, and the verb, as it is a progressive tense, goes in ing. You know this already. I explained it in class, in school. But now let's take a look at the text, the Aaron Ralston's text. Let me just display it. Here it is. This is on page 10 in your book, but remember, in your book is incomplete. I hope you have the answers already. So, we read this in class, but I'm going to focus only in the past perfect or past perfect expressions so you can refresh your memory a little bit, okay? So, we should remember that the past perfect and past perfect progressive both need two actions in the past. And the past perfect or past perfect progressive will be in the first action. Remember the timelines I gave you? Take a look in your notebook. I will write them in a little whiteboard that I have here. So the first action that happened in the past, that action will be the one in past perfect or past perfect progressive. And the second action in time, the one that is closest to the present, will be in simple past. Let's take a look at these examples in here. For example, we have this first here. It says, Aaron had gone climbing alone many times before. Before his accident, which we can have a point in time in here, before his accident, he had his accident in this point, where I have my finger. Before that, he had gone climbing many times before. In Spanish, remember, it will be, Aaron ya había ido a escalar muchas veces. Aquí tuvo el accidente, él ya había ido muchas veces antes. ¿Sí? Ya había. Remember that in Spanish is had is the había, okay? I hope you remember this information. Let's continue with more examples. Here. Aaron left home without telling anyone where he was going. So we have here, he hadn't told anyone, no le había dicho, antes de que salió de su casa, no le había dicho a nadie a dónde iba. Aquí está en inglés, ¿no? He hadn't told anyone where he was going. Él no le había dicho a nadie a dónde iba, ¿ok? Como pueden ver, tenemos muchos más verbos en pasado simple. Remember that the simple past will be the tense that appears the most when you are talking about the past. That's why you learn it first, okay? Another example here. Here. Let me just underline it. It says, Adam had been climbing all day and was about to stop, but as he was crossing a 3-foot wide crack in the canyon, disaster struck. So, the disaster struck in here. He had been climbing all day. The translation would be, él había estado escalando todo el día antes. ¿Sí? Antes del accidente, que se abrió una grieta en el cañón, él ya había estado antes, ahorita pongo la línea de tiempo, él había estado escalando todo el día. Y estaba a punto de detenerse, but in this point, disaster struck. He had the accident, okay? So I want to ask you that in your book you underline and take time in underlining and understanding all the examples that are on page 10, all the examples in past perfect and past perfect progressive, so you can continue with the rest at home. Now let's go again with the grammar section. Give me a moment, please. Okay. Let me just erase this. This is the first time I use it, okay? So don't worry. There you go. Okay. We have the grammar in here. Let me just hang my mini whiteboard that I just got. It's not new, but it works, okay? So, remember, we use the past perfect, which the structures is had, well, subject plus auxiliary had, or hadn't if it's negative, of course, plus the verb in past participle. Remember that the verb in past participle, which I call it VPP, I hope you remember that. It's the verb in past participle. Remember, it can be, if it's regular, it's ed. If it's irregular, it's on page, it's at the back of your book, or on the internet in your book, it's on page 136. Okay? So this is the one in verb in past participle. Remember that in Spanish, the verb in past participle are the endings ado, ido, to, so, and cho. This will be the equivalent in Spanish, okay? Okay, let me write this. So, you have the structures in your notebook. I'm not gonna write it again, okay? So we have the example in blue. It says, well, we use the past perfect for an action that happened before another action in the past. So again, we have two actions, one action in past perfect and the other action in simple past, but we need a connector. Let's transfer this example to this timeline. The example in blue says, he had left before she arrived. In my timeline, let me just draw it. The end means, well, now, this is the present. We don't touch the present because both actions are in the past. So we can have two little marks in here representing the two actions. We can have also hours. I mean, just to make it a little bit more graphic, okay? This is 10 a.m. in the morning, 11 a.m. So he had left before she arrived. What happened first? Think about it. What happened first? He left first or she arrived first? You have the answer, I hope. So, at 10 a.m., he left. Period. I'm not using past perfect yet. I'm still using past simple. 11 a.m., what happened? You tell me. She what? She arrived. Period. Two isolated actions. This word in here, the connector before, which by the way, it's a connector of time. That word before will allow me to have my past perfect in the sentence. Let me write it in here, before. I have. And graphically, we can see it in this timeline. Remember, this is past perfect, okay? Past perfect. Graphically, we can see it because this 10 a.m. is, of course, it's before 10 a.m. It's before 11 a.m. So at 10 a.m. he left. At 11 a.m. she arrived home. Now, before. Check what I'm gonna do. Now, I can change this into past perfect. He had left. Now, this is my past perfect. He had left before. Let me just erase the capital because it's not beginning the sentence anymore. There you go. He had left before, we can see it, 1 hour before, exactly before she arrived. Period. ¿En dónde recae el pasado perfecto? Recae siempre en la acción más lejana en el pasado. Ambas están en el pasado, pero el pasado perfecto, aquí está subrayado, siempre va a recaer en la acción más lejana. Traducción sería, ¿el qué? Él se había, le agregamos ahí el se, en español es diferente. Él se había, ¿qué? Left es el participio del verbo leave, que es abandonar o irse de un lugar. Entonces, él se había ido, ¿sí? Él se había ido antes, y aquí lo podemos ver gráficamente, él se había ido antes de que ella llegó, pasado simple, ¿sí? La segunda acción, la acción más cercana al presente, permanece en simple past, en pasado simple. Siempre va a ser así. Como se los dije en clase, esta línea de tiempo es universal. Cualquier ejemplo que tú hagas, que tú inventes de pasado perfecto, va a encajar en esta línea de tiempo siempre. Esto también se los demostré en la clase, espero que lo recuerden. He had left before she arrived. Entonces siempre hay que tener un conector. Nada más se puede con el before, claro que no, vamos a quitar el before. Y ahora vamos a hacerlo con el after, vamos a poner el after. Pero hay que pensarle tantito cómo podemos poner el after. ¿Dónde va a ir el after? ¿Iré al principio? ¿Al medio? ¿Dónde iría? Puede ser así. She arrived, empezando la oración con she. She arrived after. Y le quitamos la orientación a la flechita, la ponemos para acá porque ahora es después. Ella llegó después de que él, ¿qué? Claro que ustedes escribirían la oración de izquierda a derecha. Yo lo estoy haciendo aquí porque no puedo cambiar las acciones. Ahí está. Punto. El punto final de la oración ahora va aquí. Vamos a leerla ahora sí. She arrived after, después, she arrived after he had left. Traducción, ella llegó después, 1 hora después, ella llegó aquí a las 11, 1 hora después de que él se había ido. ¿Sí? Ella llegó después de que él se había ido. Claro que siempre se fue antes. A lo que voy es de que no podemos cambiar el orden de las acciones ya sucedieron. ¿Ok? Muy bien. Now, talking about already and yet. I gave you the examples already, so but let's include here a little bit of already, okay? Bueno, esto lo podríamos dejar aquí. Vamos a ponerle el before, vamos a ponerle by the time. ¿Qué les parece ahora usamos by the time? By the time iría al principio de la oración. Acuérdense que by the time significa para cuándo en español. By the time she arrived, para cuando ella llegó, a las 11, by the time she arrived, coma, ¿cómo diríamos el ya? Si quiero enfatizar que ya se había ido, usamos el already, pero ¿dónde va el already? En la clase lo preguntamos. By the time she arrived, he had, mi auxiliar del pasado perfecto, he had already. Y aquí pongo abajito left. Punto final de la oración. Y esto lo podemos borrar ya, ¿ok? By the time she arrived at 11 a.m., by the time she arrived, coma, he had already left. ¿Para cuándo? Acuérdate que esto es para cuándo en español. para cuando ella llegó, el ya, already, el ya se había ido. Recuerden que les mencioné en clase, remember that I told you that this word already goes like a sandwich in the middle, in between the auxiliary and the verb in past parts. Okay? So this is the past perfect, guys. Two actions, both actions in the past, one action before another one, and the past perfect will go all the time in the first action that happened in time. Okay? Cool. So now let's continue with the past perfect progressive. It says we use the past perfect progressive, which the structure is had or hadn't in negative, but now we have something extra. We have been. Been, it's mandatory. You should have this word when you use this tense, which is the verb to be, by the way. Had, okay, subject plus had or hadn't if it's negative, plus been for all the people, for all the grammatical people, plus the verb in ing. Why the verb in ing and not the past perfect anymore? Because it is a progressive tense, and all progressive tenses in English they need a verb in ing. But now the use, it says in here, we use it for an action that had been happening for a period of time, subrayen eso, for a period of time before another action in the past. Again, let me just erase my timeline. Again, guys, pay attention. We need two actions again in the past. Les había dicho en clase que estos dos tiempos que estamos viendo aquí no los podemos usar solos. Yo no puedo llegar y decirte, hey, in English, you know what? Esto, no de aquí. Hasta aquí. Yo no puedo decirte eso nada más. Pero sí te puedo decir, por ejemplo, hey, yesterday I went to the movies. Y me vas a entender. Tomorrow I'm having a party. Do you want to come? Y me vas a entender también. Pero si yo llego y te digo, hey, you know what? My brother, he had left. Okay? He had left when? You need to give me like another point in time of reference. Oh, he had left before my mom arrived or something like that. Okay? So you need two actions. Again. Vamos a poner la otra línea de tiempo que ya tienes tú en tu libreta. Chécala bien, si no la tienes, pues aquí está. De nuevo, dos acciones o dos puntos en el tiempo, en el pasado. Acuérdate, yo nada más pongo el presente de referencia para que lo tengas ahí, pero no se toca, no llega al presente estas acciones, a diferencia del presente perfecto y el presente perfecto progresivo que vimos en la primera semana del semestre, que sí llega. También lo debes tener por ahí. Ok, dice, usamos el past perfect progressive para una acción que había estado sucediendo por un periodo de tiempo, subraya eso, antes de otra acción, ambas en el pasado. La principal diferencia entre estos dos tiempos es que el de abajo, y acá lo dice más abajo, el past perfect progressive le da énfasis a la duración de la acción. Y el de arriba, el past perfect normal, le da énfasis a la acción por sí misma. Vamos a ver el ejemplo en azul para que lo entendamos bien y vamos a ver ahorita también el ejemplo y la línea de tiempo. Dice, she had been waiting for 10 hours, that's the duration, before help arrived. ¿Qué pasó primero? ¿Primero estuvo esperando o primero llegó la ayuda? Obvio, primero estuvo esperando, tuvo un accidente. Imagine in this point, here it's 8 p.m. and here it's 10 a.m. Okay? So, here, help arrived. Aquí llegó la ayuda. Okay? And here, in this period, which represents 10 hours, vamos a ponerle aquí, for 10 hours, what was happening here? She was waiting, right? Period. Todavía no pongo, si se fijan, todavía no pongo el pasado perfecto en ningún lado, el pasado perfecto progresivo, porque no hemos usado el conector que nos va a ayudar a hacer esto. Ella estaba esperando, de 10 de la mañana a 8 de la noche, she was waiting, okay. And finally, in this point, at 8 p.m., help arrived and they rescued her, right? Okay. De nuevo, ¿cuál es el conector que nos está permitiendo usar el pasado perfecto progresivo? Otra vez es el before, ¿sí? Vamos a escribirlo aquí. Y gráficamente lo podemos ver que está antes, ¿no? Bueno, ahora sí. Ya que tengo el before, ya puedo, voy a quitar el was y voy a cambiarlo por, ¿qué crees? Por had been. Que si te fijas, si eres observador, el had been sigue siendo el verbo to be. Porque un tiempo progresivo, debes saber que aparte de tener el verbo ing, necesita una forma del verbo to be. Ok. She had been waiting, ya quito el punto, ahora sí vamos a leerla toda. She had been waiting for 10 hours before help arrived in this point. Y pongámoslo aquí con minúscula para que sea parte de la oración. Punto final de mi oración. Traducción. El había es el had en inglés, ¿no? Entonces aquí sería ella había, nada más que ahora tenemos el been, es estado. Ella había estado esperando, acuérdate que el ing es ando o yendo. Ella había estado esperando por 10 horas antes, obvio, de que la ayuda llegó o que la ayuda llegara. En español puede cambiar este concepto, ¿verdad? Recuerda que la acción segunda, la acción que está más cerquita del presente, permanece en pasado simple, simple past. Y de nuevo, ¿en dónde recayó el pasado perfecto? En la acción más lejana en el tiempo, o se hace en esta, ¿no? Aquí está, aquí está subrayado. She had been waiting for 10 hours before help arrived. También podemos usar el since. Le quitamos el for, o bueno, voy a poner aquí abajito mejor para dejar ambos conceptos. She had been waiting since, acuérdense que se pronuncia since, no since, ya se los he dicho también. She had been waiting since what? Since what time? She had been waiting since 10 a.m. She had been waiting since 10 a.m. before help arrived. Ella había estado esperando desde las 10 antes de que la ayuda llegara o antes de que la ayuda llegó. Okay? So this is the main explanation. These are the main aspect that you need to have in your notebook. You have them in your notebook already. Just make sure you remember them and review them, okay? Now, another aspect in here. Pay attention, this is the last thing of the explanation, but it's the one that is it has a lot of importance. We can use the past perfect or the past perfect progressive, both tenses. For an action, pay attention, for an action which finished in the past and whose results were visible also in the past. Remember, we're not talking in the present, we're talking in the past. Example, they were very happy. Imagine they were happy here. They were happy here. Why were they happy? That's the question. Why were they happy? They were happy because they had managed to reach the top of the mountain. Traducción, ellos estaban contentos aquí. ¿Por qué estaban contentos? Porque habían logrado, had managed, porque habían logrado antes, ¿qué habían logrado? Alcanzar la cima de la montaña. Otro ejemplo, he was tired. Ojo, no estoy diciendo he's tired, no estoy diciendo he's tired in the present. Acuérdense que no tocamos el presente en este tema, ¿ok? He was tired, él estaba cansado. La pregunta es, ¿por qué estaba cansado? ¿Qué había estado haciendo antes para cansarse? He was tired because he had been hiking all day. Emphasis on duration. He was tired here because he had been hiking, porque él había estado caminando por la montaña. Acuérdate que hike es hacer senderismo, caminar por la montaña. No tiene traducción exacta al español. Él estaba cansado porque había estado caminando en la montaña, ¿qué? Todo el día. Tienes que mencionar siempre que uses el pasado perfecto progresivo, tienes que utilizar siempre una duración. Tiene que haber ahí una duración que me dé la idea de continuidad, como lo vimos aquí en esta línea de tiempo. ¿Ok? Muy bien. Ahora, vamos a quitar esto. This is in your book. This is on page 11. Most of you have them already. You can check them again. We check them at home. at school. Page 11, exercise 5. In case you don't have it, Do it before the class. Remember, these exercises are supposed to be done by you and finished by you in your book or notebook. Remember, if you don't have the book, I will send them the picture. I will send you the pictures later. Okay? But page 11, exercise 5. Do it. When you finish this exercise, go to page 80 in the workbook. Page 80, exercise 11 or 10, I don't remember. No, 11. Yeah. Here. Exercise 11, page 80. You answer it. Also, when you finish these two exercises, please go again. Go back to page 11. Let's go back to page 11. And you answer exercise 6. Now, in case you haven't done it, pay attention. It says, use the phrases below to make sentences. Put the verbs in bold, los verbos en negritas. Put them in past perfect or past perfect progressive. The verbs are win, work, fail, dig, and graduate. And you need to link. I mean, they give you a subject, they give you an adjective, they give you these hyphen, estos guiones, these hyphens, you will change them in your sentences with the word because, okay? You will substitute the hyphens with because. And here the verbs, you will decide if the verbs are in past perfect or past perfect progressive, okay? And then they give you a complement. Example. There you go. Listen.
Jeff was happy because he had won first prize.
Jeff was happy. Remember the timeline, right? Jeff was happy here. Why was he happy? Because he had won first prize. Les dije que todos los ejemplos quedan en esta línea de tiempo. Traducción, Jeff estaba contento o feliz. Ya no sabemos si ahorita en el presente está, no nos importa eso ahorita. Jeff estaba feliz. ¿Por qué? Porque había ganado, because he had won, antes de que estaba feliz, porque había ganado el primer premio. Así vas a hacer todas estas tú en tu libreta, siguiendo este patrón. Acuérdate, tiene que ser was, no puede ser is, no puedo decir Jeff is happy, we don't know that. And you need to use the connector because. When you finish these 5 sentences, you will talk about yourself using the same adjectives, happy, tired, sad, exhausted, and thrilled, to talk about you. But please use the same adjectives, happy, tired, etc. But please use different verbs. You cannot use, again, win, work, fail, dig, or graduate. Example, I don't know, let me make an example of myself. I don't know, yesterday I was happy. Why was I happy? Yesterday I was happy because my team had won the game, right? Yesterday I was happy because my team had won the game. I'm sorry, I used the same verb. I don't know, because I was happy because I had seen my girlfriend. It could be, right? So, yo estaba feliz porque había visto a mi novia, etc. Antes de estar feliz la había visto. Entonces, ahí está. Van a ser 10 en total. 5 aquí y 5 sobre ti. Ya lo hicimos la mayoría. El que no lo haya hecho lo puede hacer. Okay, also via WhatsApp, just to finish the first video, I will send you 3 exercises. This is the first one. Okay, this is only past perfect or simple past. This is past perfect. And this one is the completion of the text, okay? So I will send them to you via WhatsApp. So this is the first video. I will be adapting more things, lasting less a little bit because I lasted a lot in today. So I hope you understood the explanation. I hope you can go back to the video and see more parts. And well, see you in class live in the same schedule as in the semester in Microsoft Teams. Thank you.